very first episode of A Dose of Halloween. I'm super excited to get to do this on my channel. I love Halloween like immensely, so I'm definitely excited that we get to do this. The first episode we are doing today is I'm going to be carving a pumpkin. Now I already have the pumpkin stencil on here. I won't show you until the end, but I will reveal it, and I'm super excited. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to be answering questions that people have sent in to me. And so the very first thing we're going to do is we are going to cut an opening for our pumpkin. Now, I know that people have done it two different ways. You can do the top part or you can do the bottom part. I think in this case, I'm probably going to do the bottom. Just because I feel like this top part has a gorgeous curve to it with the stem. And I want to try and keep that, and I'm afraid that it's gonna get ruined or messed up if I try and do the top part. So, let's see if we can flip this. See if we can bring it over. Is cut an opening at the bottom. See how well this goes. So this is all very new to me. So I'm gonna try and see how well I can do this. Trash can, so I can put all the disgusting stuff, innards. Oh yeah, there we go. That looks yummy. Oh, it smells beautiful too. Like, all right, so I'm gonna start trying to just get some of the innards out. I think I have pretty much everything of the inside of my pumpkin cleaned out. So now that I have the inside part of my pumpkin carved out and everything, I'm gonna start on carving out the design. My design is pretty simple. I didn't want to go with anything too extreme or crazy. I'm gonna do this and do that, and we're gonna start the first incision. So, actually, alright, I'm gonna take this little guy down, so, alright, let's begin. I loved always watching people carve pumpkins, but I never thought that I was actually going to be able to carve a pumpkin because I just never thought I'd have the skill to actually be able to do it. So I left it kind of to the professionals. I've learned that there's like tricks and certain things that you can do when you're designing and you're trying to carve it out. But for me, I'm just winging it, really. I'm just going head first into this, and we'll see how this goes. So, well, maybe it doesn't want to. Maybe this pumpkin just doesn't want me to carve it out. It's just being stubborn and everything. Let's see. So in the comments below, I want you to tell me when was the first time that you guys remember carving pumpkins, and did you do it with your parents or somebody else? And do you remember what design you did? I remember my mom and I would actually like to carve pumpkins, but I think our favorite thing to do was to actually draw just on the pumpkin silly, crazy, funny designs. I know that we had one that we drew and we put like a farmer's hat on him and everything, which was pretty fun. I really enjoyed it. So, but I remember making my mom clean out the pumpkin and everything, and I think I would just help with like spooning out the guts a little bit, but most of the time she did a lot of the work. So this is my first time having to do it by myself, so this is how we're gonna do it. So I thought this would be kind of a nice little first thing to make the video so that we can just kind of allow the audience to kind of know what they're gonna get into with my videos. I wanted it to kind of be something that you would be like, oh, a lot of people would do this. But I also wanted it to be something that was significant of Halloween. I mean, it's almost a tradition that people carve pumpkins, and I mean, people carve thousands and thousands of pumpkins sometimes. I remember one year, I don't remember where I was, but I remember I passed by one house that had maybe like 15 jack-o'-lanterns, and I was like, it was just so incredible to see the talent and the work that people have put into making them. So I also applaud those people that can do that. I mean, for me, right now, this alone is a struggle for me. So I definitely applaud and commend the people that can make 15, 10 pumpkins. I mean, it's incredible. Whoop, there we go. All right. So we've got that part done. All right, now we got this last part to go. We'll see how well this goes, and hopefully it'll be easy as pumpkin pie. Give me some issues today. Let me see if okay. I'm always so used to trying to push the piece into the pumpkin so I can just pull it out. But for some reason, they want to just pop out. So, which is totally fine with me. I just went to my grocery store, picked up my pumpkin, and that was it. So while we're still doing this whole shenanigans and stuff, I'm gonna answer some questions that people have sent me, and we'll see what my answer will be. So the first question is, what is the most unique murder method you've seen in a horror movie? And this is from one of my friends, Marissa. Unique murder method? Unique. That's hard. I think a lot of movies, I don't know. There's two that come to mind, and one is the Saw series, because I feel like those kills are just like, who came up with those, and just the brain of that is just incredible whenever I've watched it. I mean, it's hard for me to even watch it because I just can't handle those kind of kills. I also would have to say, there's another movie called The Collector, and if you haven't seen it, I would suggest you watch it. I think the first 15 minutes or 20 minutes of that movie scared the shit out of me. And I just couldn't stomach it. Nope, I was like, nope, these kills are not gonna be fun for me. And so I had to take some time before I could rewatch it, really get into it. So I'd have to say those kills are also very unique and interesting. So that would be my answer for that question. Come on. All right. All right. The next question is actually, this is from my friend Sam. She said, what is your favorite activity to do on Halloween? That one's actually, it changes. That question can change. I used to, when I lived in Maryland, I used to always go with my friends, and they would go trick-or-treating, and I was kind of the older person, the chaperone, so I never really dressed up, but I would go with them and everything. And it was always just so much fun. We were such, like, just goofballs, and we just did our thing, and it was just a lot of fun, and we always laughed and shared our candy and everything. So that was one thing that I always really loved doing. I think, yeah, that was one of my favorite things to do. Another thing that I used to always love doing was watching Halloween, the movie. When I was a lot younger, I hated the movie. It would be on, I would turn it on, and I would sit on my couch and try and watch it. But it always just scared the living bejeebers out of me. And I remember always being so terrified of it. So, yeah, that was always an interesting thing for me to do. I love the movies. They're just amazing and everything. Yeah, I still get freaked out, but I can handle them now. I'm an adult. But yeah, so that was another favorite activity that I used to do all the time on Halloween. It's now become kind of my favorite. But now I don't really do too much. I usually just go and buy candy for myself at like Target or some store, sit down, and I will just pretty much watch a marathon of horror movies. If you haven't checked out, or if you don't know anything about Shudder, it's a great horror app. I recommend it completely if you love horror movies, or if you're in the mood to find new horror movies, because they have lists and long titles of a lot of good horror movies. So yeah, I usually just snuggle on my couch with candy and watch a horror movie. And that's probably what I'm going to do this year for Halloween too. Alright, so the third question is actually from one of my friends, Jenny. She actually asked, what's your favorite superstition? Oh God. I'm gonna go with, I guess one of my favorite superstitions was always, I guess, like the boogeyman under your bed. I mean, that was always such a big one that I really believed in. I think another one that I also really was kind of introduced to and hooked on was, I think it would be considered a superstition, is Bloody Mary. And if you go into the bathroom and say her name 3 times with the lights off, she appears. I'm gonna go with that. But I think those would probably be my 2 favorite superstitions. And let me know if those are not even superstitions. But that's just the first thing that comes to my brain. Wow, I totally forgot how hard it is kind of to even carve through a thick ass pumpkin. So the 3 questions that I got, I will be answering a bunch more in my other videos. So if you guys have questions for me, leave them in the comments below, and I will hopefully try to answer them to the best that I can. Alright. Alright. There we are. Alright. Alright, you guys. So, I finished cleaning off the carving, and now what we're going to do is I have my candle, okay? And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to light it and then turn off the lights, and we'll see if this bad boy glows or even looks good. So, let's see. Dun dun dun. Alright. Here is the reveal. Ta-da! Alright. So, this actually says VHS Podcast. And you guys are probably all thinking, Dennis, what the hell is that? It's so spooky and glowy. So VHS Podcast is actually a horror podcast that is done by 3 guys who are from Nashville. And they talk all things horror related, movies, and they talk about vintage horror movies to like the newer horror stuff to now. And it's just, they have so many great, amazing movies that they pick. They actually currently right now have a 31 Frights from VHS. So if you actually check them out right now, you can find the list of the stuff that they are talking about, the movies. I actually got to be make a little small guest appearance on one of their episodes. I will link their social media stuff at the end of this video, so you can totally follow them. I think it would totally be amazing and awesome. Definitely check them out. They are worth looking into. But I have been a big supporter of theirs, and I have found that you just learn so much new horror movie stuff from them. Alright, so before we go, I just want to thank you guys for joining me on this first video. And if you like the stuff that you saw today in this video, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Also, be sure to comment what your favorite part of this video was. If you have a memory from your Halloween childhood that you loved. And probably at the end of this video, I'll also post maybe 1 or 2 pictures from my Halloween childhood. So thank you guys, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.